Hey guys. Alright, I know that this video already seems weird, but I'm doing this for Mr. Tesla. He said if I made a video on this, he wouldn't ban me. So thank you, Mr. Tesla. I love you so much. They give me too many warnings. Holy cow, I need to go fix my computer screen in the bad way. Oh, I just got done screaming as soon as I read that. My voice is in like the worst shape ever now. Alright, I'm gonna have it so that you guys can actually see my screen, so you guys can see that I'm actually on here. Why did that hurt so bad? I mean, I screamed like a girl here. I'm pulling up my pants. Oh my goodness. Jesus. Whew. Oh. I'm gonna take something after this. Oh. Okay. So before this thing starts, I actually want to show you guys the brief right here. I said he put down in the comments, if you make a video of yourself reading all the rules, I will unban you right now. So let's go do this, guys. Server rules. Holy cow, I cannot. This is gonna take forever. Server rules. You as a member of Eclipse servers are obligated to read all the server rules, or all of these rules entirely, check for all the rules for changes, and follow the rules. A staff member can and will punish you for breaking the rules or attempting to circumvent, whatever that says, twist, or otherwise, or get around these rules. If you need clarification on a rule, ask an admin. If you make no attempt whatsoever to follow these rules, the punishment will be severe. Note, for faster start, use the headings to guide you based on what you are planning to do. For instance, if you are building a base, read prop rules and or base and property rules to ensure you stay out of trouble. Okay. So I'm going to zoom in on the rules. Alright, so I put it to where I can actually draw on the screen while I'm actually on this. So, main rules. Respect all members within the server. You may not use racial slurs. I've only got one for that once, maybe. Do not harass other players. You may not use religious taboos. You may not scream Allah Akbar due to players taking offense. Do not spam. Okay, I'm going to highlight these just so you guys know what I've already done. You may not spam your microphone. Any chatter sound, this includes but is not limited to knocking or repeated firing / reloading of a weapon without reason. You may not spam props, text screens, flashlights, or camera. Now I will say this, I already know this rule, but just so you guys know, you can spam as a hobo with a hobo base. Let me go plug up my computer real quick, it's gonna end up dying. Oh, it's so weird, me just like seeing her crawling in my floor. Like my parents walking right now. Oh my god. Alright, I don't know if I said this or not because my thing cut off because my computer accidentally shut off because it went dead. But you may not spam, you may not use your microphone, any chat, or any sound this includes, but is not limited to knocking or repeated firing of a weapon without reason. You may not spam props, text screens, flashlights, or camera. Do not call an admin for a reason without substantial proof. Staff members are not allowed to take are not allowed to take players as other witnesses. Only other staff members may be taken at their word. Do not troll. This is when I really need to work this on too. So I'm just gonna kind of. If you're doing some activity repeatedly for the expletive purpose of annoying other players, it will be considered trolling. Okay, I do need to remember that. Hold on here. I need to go and shoot. I cannot scroll down. What the heck? Hold on. Crap. Okay, wait, what? Okay, there we go. So, do not advertise other servers or anything else, okay? Do not tell an admin how to do his / her job. English language only. No expectations. Do not impersonate any player or staff member. Do not claim to be staff if you are, okay? Do not use hacks or exploits. Do not joke about hacking. Any mentions of DDoS, docs, or hacking or any sort will be met with severe punishment. Don't PM about it. Don't say it in OC. Don't even think about it. You will be permanently banned from all EG servers on the spot without notice. Do not bug abuse. Report bugs and glitches to an admin on the forums immediately. Do not evade punishment. If you leave while an admin is talking, you will be punished more severely than if you had stayed. If you attempt to change your name to avoid punishment, your punishment will be more severe. Do not ask to be admin or discuss your application in game. Okay, I do need to remember that because I've applied a couple times and we have talked about them in game, so I need to keep that. Do not scam. An agreement must be made before content to the server or money are exchanged. Screenshots any deal you make before for proof of agreements. Call admin for assistance using @message. Calls in OOC will be ignored. Also, if you choose to use // message rather than your call may be missed as it is easily mistaken for staff chatting about the in-game problems rather than calling from a player. Do not argue with staff before, during, or after a sit. Just because a rule is not spelled out word for word does not mean you cannot be punished for it once it has been clarified for you by an admin. Some rules are blanket rules and give examples, but they are not all inclusive, such as fill RP. If you feel like you've been wrong, take screenshots, video, and make a complaint on the forums. Do not interrupt or interfere with a sit. I need to make sure I do this. If you see a sit in progress that you are not involved in, stay away from it. Otherwise, you will be involved in a bad way. Okay. Blackmailing of any kind, threatening to post a complaint on a player or staff member is forbidden and will be punished. Respect the chain of command for the server. If there's an in-game problem, talk to an admin or moderator with that. If you have a suggestion, ban, appeal, or complaint, there are forum areas for that to take place. Do not go straight to the owner or head admins in-game. We are very busy with people behind the scenes. Let the forum do its job. The owner, staffer, and all HAs check the forums daily and deal with your complaints, suggestions, and the problems that way. We cannot continue to be inundated with messages 24/7. The admins are help you in the short term and are more than capable of dealing with 99% of the problems on spot. If you are uncomfortable posting a complaint or problem for whatever reason, please use the private message function on the forums or to contact it. On the forum to contact an HA. Whoa. Wait, where was I even at? Okay, right here. If no staff members are online, you may submit a player complaint on the forums for later punishment. If you do so, you will need screenshots of console or Steam ID or any other evidence. Cut and pasted text cannot be accepted. If the Steam ID is not proven, associated with the player complaint will be thrown out. Game rules. Physics colors which hide the physics gun beams are not allowed. /black. Okay, so you cannot have black physics beam. Only the staff on duty job may do this. Do not harass players who are building with the building center. Hobos who are working on constructions out of their building. Hobo house. Interfering with the building will be considered trolling. You must leave if asked. Printing money, growing plants, and cooking methods are only to be done within a base. Purges and mass RDM fest are not allowed. Weapon shipments may be stolen, but weapons bought from the shopping shelf belong only to the player who purchased them. You cannot steal a box from the shelf, shelf itself, or the merchandise from a freshly opened box. You must use /checku, name, amount if you don't want dropped money to be stolen. Do not pick up do not pick up or tamper with checks that do not belong to you or aren't written for you. New life rule NLR is 5 minutes. If killed, you forgot your previous life. If killed in the base, someone else's base or government building, you must wait out of the 5-minute NLR before returning. If killed in public, you may return to the area, but you cannot respond to anything that was done to you before you died as you have forgotten it. If you're arrested, you may not return to get revenge on the arresting officers. Required/adverts. You must advert raid when raiding. You must advert mug, name, and amount up to 500 times greater than 10 seconds when mugging. You must advert carjack when stealing a car. After making an arrest, you must advert reason for arrest. You must advert a reason for putting the server into lockdown. Kidnapping is not allowed. Do not self-supply. Discussed in further detail under general dealer rules. Do not advert for someone to raid you. Do not metagame. Out of character chat is not for in-game activity and cannot be used for RP conversations or actions. You cannot use the mention of printers and OC as a reason for warrants or any other RP action. Do not spam job votes. Do not abuse jobs. You may not change jobs to multiple dealers in order to create a super shop. Any dealer/doctor job must make a shop/begin construction on this shop within 10 minutes or you will be demoted. Drug dealers are exempt from this and should not make shops. Your services are illegal. Be discreet. Only gangster and thief jobs may raid, mug, and carjack. See job descriptions for the jobs you've chosen for information regarding whether or not you can raid, mug, or carjack. Okay, also, can you guys actually see my haircut? I don't know if you guys, yeah, you guys can. Only hobos can mic spam. See hobo job description. You may not cover someone's sign with one of your own or make comments about a person. Do not build inappropriate structures. This includes, but is not limited to, gentlemen, swags, ISIS flags, or letters spelling offensive things. Do not start demotions votes while staff are on call. Staff members using that. Your vote will be cancelled by staff. All jobs can have a weapon for self-defense except the hobo job. Do not abuse the camera tool. Do not place cameras on other players' properties. Cameras may be placed in public for purpose of looking at yourself, etc. You cannot keep an eye on people in public areas. Example, when using a camera to watch for a player you have a hit on. Do not attempt to push your camera through someone's base to see what's inside. Where'd they go? Okay. So now we're going to role-playing rules. Use common sense. If something wouldn't be done in real life, then you shouldn't be doing this part of roleplay. We are talking about reasonable actions, not extreme circumstances that only happened one time. If a staff member tells you something is FLRP, then it is. You may plead your case with a staff member politely with reason. However, it is not permission for you to argue with their final ruling. FLRP cannot be completely covered with any kind of accuracy. Many of the ruling on this will be judgment calls made by staff. You assume everyone is a citizen using a player's job. For any RP action, it's metagaming. Dealer jobs, security guard, DJs, mechanics, silver protection jobs, bank manager, bank security, taxi drivers, and hobos wear a uniform or otherwise look at the part and thus are reckonable. I cannot speak today. Oh my god, I'm done. I'm out. Peace out. But criminal jobs are to be assumed a citizen unless proven otherwise. Do not steal from the people you're basing with. You are friends. If there's a domestic dispute, you are fighting with the people you're basing with. /911 to call the police. Do not bait police. This means don't intentionally try to get the police to chase you. Don't advert things like, I'm stealing drugs, come get me pigs. Don't commit crimes right in front of a cop. What kind of terrible criminal are you? Avoid being caught. Don't drive stolen vehicles past police intentionally. You're a criminal. Don't try to go to jail or be killed. Do not run from traffic stops without reason. Do not immediately run from cops or shoot them if you don't have a reason to be afraid. This will be considered FLRP. If you're pulled over, pay your fine unless things get sticky. The cop has weapon check searched you. You are wanted. You have printers or other legal entity. Your car is stolen. Do not attempt to be killed by the police to avoid arrest. You cannot have a marked police car if you're not a cop. Cops must always chase criminals unless they are outnumbered and must wait for backup. If you are battered or rammed out of your vehicle, you cannot re-enter it. You must escape on foot, lose the cops, and return. You may also decide to kill all the officers at the scene. Cops can arrest you for murder or attempted murder, even if you were defending your car or doing your job, hitman/assassin. Murder is only acceptable in self-defense cases. Logging off, then on again to recover cars or other stolen things, escape jail, or escape a hit is considered FLRP. Logging on and subsequently logging on within 30 minutes for these reasons is against the rules. Careful with committing suicide. If you kill yourself to avoid arrest or a hit, it is FLRP. Killing yourself to recover ammo, health, or armor for a custom class is FLRP. If you kill yourself to return to spawn quickly, it is FLRP. If you kill yourself to avoid any RP situations, it may be considered FLRP. If you hear cop sirens and do not move off the roads to let the emergency vehicles pass, they may ram you without question. If you're involved in an altercation, do not use the defibrillator to revive those involved. Just because someone is a friend doesn't mean you should be reviving them. You must be basing together, raiding together, or otherwise be engaged in the altercation that resulted in their death. VRP is not a rule on Eclipse Gaming Dark RP server. Shooting, raiding, carjacking, and killing. Do not RDM. RDM stands for Random Deathmatch. If you do not have a roleplay reason for killing someone, then you're RDMing. Don't get cute. Example, he was looking at me funny, so that is RP. You cannot kill someone in the spawn area. Do not run to spawn as a safe haven. Hitmen may carry out hits within the spawn areas, but must be careful to avoid crossfire. You may only raid carjack. You can only raid / carjack / mug once every 5 minutes. Raids and carjacks are individual timers, meaning you can raid a base and carjack a near or inside as a getaway vehicle. You cannot perform the same action within the 5 minutes. Raids and mugs are the same timer. You must wait 10 minutes before targeting the same person with these actions. You must be next to the person you are mugging. You must advert mug, name, amount, up to 500. When mugging, you cannot mug hobos. You cannot mug with explosive. Carjacking makes you KOS to the owner, and the owner KOS to you while carjack is in progress. You may only defend cars you own, must be on doors. The owner is only KOS to you until you've entered the vehicle. At this point, you should be working on escape and subsequent exchange, not killing them. If you carjack a car, you cannot hold the car for more than 10 minutes. You must give the owner an opportunity to buy their car back for a maximum of 5,000. I actually have a bind for that, so be smart with your exchange as you are KOS to the owner the entire time in possession of their vehicle. Do not drive cars into water or attempt to hide them from the owner. This will be considered trolling as you have nothing to gain from these actions. You may not carjack in the car spawn areas. Non-government officials in the following government-owned areas are AOS/KOS and if resisting arrest without a sign. Government buildings are clearly marked on the door to enter them. Downtown, behind the counter or at the bank or past the police department. This is so long. Evu City, behind the counter at the bank or in the... Evu City, behind the counter at the bank or in the basement of Nexus. Other areas in which government officials may be basing must still have an AOS or KOS sign. You may kill someone if they pass your KOS line. KOS signs must be placed in plain sight. KOS signs or KOS lines must be 100 size font. Qualifiers such as John Doe, bandage from shop must be at least 50 text. KOS lines must be placed within the property of the building you own. If you're in question about your property line, ask an admin for clarification. If you loiter close, feet not miles, to the KOS line for more than 30 seconds, you can be killed. If you cross a KOS line, you can be killed even if you retreat behind it. Do not do the KOS line dance. What the heck does that even mean? Do not raid a base that has a building sign. You're not allowed to mug or raid hobos. If your raid is taking longer than 5 minutes, you must discontinue the raid. All parties involved in a raid at the same time within seconds, you cannot join an ongoing raid. Raid groups must be assembled beforehand. If you join a raid you weren't invited to join by calling the raid with the group, they may kill you for interfering. Counter raid is not allowed. This means you cannot raid a base that is already being raided in order to steal from the raid from the original raiders. Find your own mark. You cannot raid to kill. Raiding a building this means you cannot raid a base that is already being raided. Oh wait, wrong. Raiding a building in which it is clear there is nothing inside, you can see the entire interior, is not allowed. DJ boomboxes, however, are sufficient. You can... Whoa. Where the heck is it going? You cannot attack someone for attacking a member of your organization. Car rules. This is gonna take forever. I'm like halfway done, if even that. Is this thing still even charging? I'm pretty sure it is. Let me go look real quick. Yeah, okay, it is. Car rules. The tank is not illegal to drive or own. Any weapon fired at the tank is AOS/KOS. If a weapon is in public, law is on the law board. A tricycle is always allowed on sidewalks and not be ticketed for it. Tricycles on the street must follow traffic laws if they are on the law board. Water-based vehicles such as the yachts and jet skis cannot be driven on land. Do not charge transparency on vehicles. Or do not change transparency on vehicles. If for some reason your car becomes no-cluttered, you may not use it to drive into bases. Call an admin to fix it. Do not attempt to prop push your car if you are stuck. Call an admin for assistance. Do not use materials on your car. You may not have a pitch black car. If you color your car, you must have the color tool setting for render mode /FX set to normal. You do not weld anything to your vehicle, or do not weld anything. Do not place props on your vehicle or in the vehicle. You must place printers and other entities for transportation purposes only. That kind of got like a little bit hard. Okay. Do not block entrances with your vehicle. Do not get involved with the chase you have no business in. Example, I'm trying to help my friend who's being chased by the police. Do not attempt to get your vehicle on top of buildings which you do not own. Do not attempt to put your vehicle inside a building which you do not own. I was going to say which you do not own, but same thing. Do not use your vehicle as a bomb. If your car is on fire, don't drive it to the nearest group of cars / players to blow up / kill everyone there. Prop rules. This is a good one. I need to read over these. Do not put props in buildings you do not own or are owned by someone else. Do not spawn props in public. Only hobos have any business of doing this. See hobo job description. Do not tamper with the player's props. This includes cameras, shopping shelves, lights, buttons, and keypads. Do not create floating props. If a prop is not supported, it is floating. Do not prop climb, surf, kill, or push. Okay. Props cannot be invisible. Pitch black props are not allowed. If the reflection of a flashlight does not show, then the prop is considered pitch black. Do not use exploitable materials such as starlights. Do not material fences for any reason. Do not use one-way props. Let's keep on going. Oh, this is going to be the long one. We got all the jobs. Okay. So right now we are here on door bays, and property deals. So let's just go and look at how much more we have. Oh my god. Okay. I cannot wait to get this over with, guys. I mean, I could read faster this, but I'm not the greatest reader when I'm reading out. So if I was to just be reading this, then I'd be able to. So let's go and do this. Bases which are elevated from the ground must have supports, or the base will be considered floating props. This does not mean one single prop holding up a huge structure. Try to make it look as if it was actually support the structure. You can only own one base. If you're a dealer, your shop is your base. Alright. You must own the front door of your building / apartment. If you're basing with others, all occupants must be on the door, or they cannot defend during raids or build inside. Copying or selling a base that you did not create is strictly prohibited. If you did not create the base, you may not sell it under any circumstances. You may copy a base with the explicit permission of the creator and no one else. Bases built in such a way to provide an unfair advantage to the base owner against raiders are not allowed. Well built is not the same as unfair. Just because you can't raid it doesn't mean it is an unfair base. You cannot build a base that requires a grapple, drugs, or jetpacks to raid. Taking advantage of limitations within Gary's mod is not allowed. Example: head glitch bases where your head cannot be targeted or at all, or forcing raiders through water. Shooting holes that lie between the standing or crouching positions are not allowed. This is a long. Raiders must be able to return fire on the owner. Shooting holes cannot be placed in such a way to only target the raider's feet. If someone owns any door in a building, do not own the other doors within the property. If someone has props in a building, do not buy the doors. Call an admin to tell the player that they need to own the doors. All keypads / buttons that are connected to a fitting door prop must be next to its prop. It must be next to the prop it controls. You may not have multiple / dummy or or dummy or fake keypads/buttons that do not open the door. Buttons and keypads attached to the lights can be as far down from the lights as you like. You are limited to 3 keypad-controlled fading doors between raiders and your valuables. Keypads must keep the fading door open for at least 5 seconds. There must be a keypad on both sides of the fading door unless it is placed in such a way that there is accessible from both sides. Phew! You are limited to you cannot use the delay function to keep the door closed after the correct code is entered. Printers may have button-controlled fading doors that do not count towards your 3 keypad-controlled door limit. You must have at least 1 entrance to your base that is accessible, otherwise you are prop blocking. It is your responsibility to test raid your base to ensure all rules are met and the raiders can get in some way. Do not fading door abuse. In brackets, whatever you call these things, FDA. This means your shooting holes must be kept open for at least 5 seconds. You cannot use You cannot use the keyboard keys to open your fading doors while you're being graded. Using the keyboard for quick entrance to your base any other time is acceptable. You cannot use the keyboard's keys to close a fading door that was cracked/hacked. Your base must be located in a building that you must own. Only hobos can build in public. If you kill for trespassing, you must have a visible KOS sign. See shooting, raiding, carjacking, and killing for KOS sign details. You cannot stack multiple fading doors next to each other unless a player can fit between them and keypad crack each one without a problem. If you're building a base, you need to have a building sign outside. Building signs, like KOS signs, must be 100 size text in plain sight. You cannot be raided if you have a building sign up. You cannot have printers, plants, Bitcoin machines, weapons, cars, or any other entity worth stealing while being protected by a building sign. You can have empty shop showings while being protected by the building sign. Doors, walls, floors, and ceilings cannot be no-collided. Only exception to this is when you're building. Buttons and keypads must be visible and not hidden in any way. Shooting holes must be controlled by a button and be a minimum size of 05 by 05. Use Models Hunter Blocks Cube 050505.mdl as a guide. The button must be next to the shooting hole prop. I need to go ask him if I can go. Okay, I just had to ask him because I gotta use the restroom. Oh gosh, I just opened something. Okay, let's go ahead and keep on while he's reading that. You cannot stag. Okay. If you're building a base, you need to have a building sign outside. Wait, where the heck am I? Oh, okay, I'm down here somewhere. Do not use materials or props that allow you to see from one side but not the other way. One-way props. Okay, let me just go see. IDK. Staring at a wall. No. You cannot create a crouch base. At the Persian ready, you must crouch for any reason to get to your valuables. If it is a crouch base, keypad/buttons placed in it such in a way to force the raider to crouch is not allowed. Shooting holes placed where the raider must crouch to return fire is not allowed. Forcing players to jump crouch is not allowed. Drop bases are not allowed. You cannot cause raiders to fall when taking air, which they cannot return from. You cannot force raiders to re-crack fading doors by dropping them to an earlier point. You cannot have an anti-hack-foe base. Crack cocaine. Mr. Tessa, oh my goodness, you're so crazy. You may only base only inside of the building that you own. Bank and armory raiding rules. You must have it raided before entering either the bank or armory. You cannot put any props inside either the bank or armory unless if you're a government official, armory, or bank manager. Unless if you're a government official, armory, or bank manager, bank. NLR does not apply to civil protection jobs while a raid on either the bank or armory is in progress. Police jobs can only break NLR to return to their home that the bank or armory for the police job activities. You cannot be arrested for raiding either the bank or armory. Civil protection jobs must attempt to kill you instead. You must wait 10 minutes before raiding the bank or armory again, but you can raid the other one after 5 minutes. Job rules. Civil protection jobs. This is okay. We're actually getting somewhere, guys. 31 minutes. Whew. My throat is killing me right now. You are not allowed to own printers, weed plants, or opium. Any government official may own a tank. After making an arrest, you must have a reason for arrest. Don't arrest players unless you have a reason. You will be asked. You can only make a player wanted for the following: evading arrest. You may arrest a player for asking hints, fleeing traffic stops, refusing to be questioned. If an officer was known to be dealing with the suspect when killed, the officer must have radioed back to tell officers where the player he/she was dealing with before they were killed. Shooting at officers of any job for any other reason than in self-defense. If you are actively chased or engaged in a firefight with a wanted criminal, you may refresh their wanted status if it ends, and you're not required to stop. If it ends and you are not required to stop while chasing the engaged in fire to do so. If the criminal escapes you completely, you may not. If the criminal escapes you completely, you may not refresh the wanted. If a player or players is/are causing havoc, you may call the president and request a lockdown for the purposes of catching the criminal. Do not randomly check players. You must have a reason to do so. You may only warrant a player for the following. You may arrest a player for weapons of public, murder, or attempted murder. You can warrant them and raid their home since you have a reasonable cause. You can warrant a person if you've seen particle effects, and sounds do not count. Illegal contraband inside a base. If you can warrant a person that they escape into a base. If you cannot see illegal contract with the suspect, you should call an investigation from FBI using the group chat default key U. Okay? You must always contact SWAT before you attempt to raid someone unless you are being attacked. You cannot take money from printers, and you must destroy them. You cannot sell plants, you must seize them. Confiscated weapons should be locked up in the police department. Okay. You cannot order hits. You must give people a 30-second warning to return to their homes before arresting them during the lockdown. You can only use your sirens when you're in a chase or responding to a /911 call. You must turn off your sirens when exiting the vehicle or risk having your vehicle removed. You can leave your light bar on when exiting the vehicle for police business. You may bring people to the police department for interrogation if suspected of a crime, and there is an interrogation law on the law board. You must have probable cause, but is not limited to /911 or /CR reporting them. You cannot kidnap them. They must come willingly. Refusal is grounds for arrest. You cannot hold them for interrogation more than 3 minutes if they do not want to stay. Doctors can own weed and opium paints legally. Bitcoin machines are legal. Tanks are legal to own and drive, but firing the weapon is AOS/KOS if weapons in public is on the law board. Oh my goodness. Oh, there's water. Hold on. Oh my god. My throat's killing me. Okay. God. Okay. Chief of police / police officer / deputy chief. You can only base at the police department with other cops / FBI / SWAT member. You can arrest if being shot at. You can shoot back while being shot at only if you're in a serious danger. You must call for backup. You can only raid if you have a warrant. Only FBI agents may have an unmarked vehicle. You must be on a marked police cruiser. You can only ticket for traffic violations if they are on the law board. Max ticket is 500. You must attempt to arrest people for crimes if you have witnessed. Just because hitmen / assassins our job does not make their assassinations legal. FBI agents. You can arrest if being shot at. You can return fire while being shot at. If you're in serious danger, you must wait for backup. You can only raid with a warrant. You can use an unmarked vehicle. You can only be based at the police department with other cops, FBI, and SWAT members. Well, you are an FBI, but, oh yes, with other cops. You must lead a search for wanted fugees, whatever that says, or attempt to capture them. You can conduct investigations in the police department. FBI may conduct investigations on citizens and other police officers. This does not even exist anymore. I'm going to ask him. I'm just going to read it. Highway patrol. If you can only base in the police department with other cops, FBI agents, and SWAT members. You must be in a marked vehicle. You can only use spike stripes to set up roadblocks. Roadblocks must have text screens warning drivers of the roadblock with 100 text screen. You must have a reason for setting up a roadblock. Example, wanted criminal on the loose. Roadblocks must have wanted police with lights on, no sirens. Oh my god. Okay, thank God. Phew! I thought he was gonna not let me do it more. Oh, that was so. I was getting ready to get so mad. Not because of that, just because I spent so much time on this. Do not leave roadblocks unattended. Your main job is to stop pursuits and enforce traffic laws on the outskirts of town. You can enforce laws in town, but only if they occur on your way to and from the station. You do not patrol the city streets by car or on foot. President's security guard. You cannot be SPG without a president. What? Oh, president's security guard without a president. You must be with the president at all times. You cannot enforce laws. You only protect the president. You can base in government buildings with the president. You cannot participate in raids. If the president does not want you as a president's security job or president's security guard, you must change your job. Hold on. Okay. You must make laws for the city. Laws cannot be unrealistic. Make announcements when you've updated the laws so players and staff can stay informed. Your laws cannot conflict with the default laws 1 through 3 on the law board. Laws must be admin approved. You will be asked to change them if there's an issue. Demoted if you refuse. You cannot make any job illegal. You cannot intimidate purges, aka RDM Fest. You are allowed to own a weapon for self-defense. You cannot participate in raids or enforce laws. You are not above the law, nor can you make yourself above the law. Give FBI agents cases to investigate if you have them. You can base in government buildings or any other valid building. You must advert a reason for any lockdown you intend. Reasons include but not limited to assassination attempts on the president, city and Chiso, dangerous fugitives, whatever that says. If your reason is not approved by now, you must remove the lockdown. Pre-approved laws, you are not limited to these, but they are a safe choice if you are unsure of laws. You must follow all traffic laws or be fined up to $500. Do not obstruct justice or interfere with the job of enforcement officers. You may not harass, stalk, or threaten any player or any person. Attempting intent to commit a crime to law enforcement is illegal. All weapons and raiding tools are illegal in public. You may be forced to come in for questioning if you are suspected of a crime. Okay. SWAT leader, SWAT soldier, SWAT medic, and SWAT sniper. You can arrest if being shot at. You can return fire while being shot if you're in serious danger. You do not have to call for backup. You are the backup. You can only return if you have a warrant. You can only base at the police department with other cops, FBI agents, and SWAT members. I don't know why I said raid. Oh yeah, I read raid 3 and stuff. I was looking up. You do not enforce traffic laws or any regulation laws on the law board. Murder is acceptation. Hold on real quick. I need to check something on my other computer over here. Okay. Murder is the exception. You must respond to backup calls from the police. You must respond to bank requests from any other civil protection jobs. Don't forget a valid warrant. You must respond to bank and armory raids. Hold on, let me read this real quick. I'm using TeamSpeak on this computer, but I'll have it up over here. I don't know if for some reason it's like screwing it up and I'm not getting my messages and stuff, so. Criminal jobs, you are allowed to have printers, weed, and opium plants. You cannot RDM cops for no reason if in the street, only if they're trying to arrest or kill you. Play it cool. Cops do not know you're a criminal. Don't immediately run for cops or shoot them if you don't have a reason to be afraid. If you're pulled over, pay your fine unless things get sticky. The cop has search warranted you. You have printers or illegal things in your vehicle. Drug dealer, meth manufacturer, cocaine manufacturer. You cannot raid. You can base with thieves, gangsters, meth manufacturers, drug dealers, and hackers. Your job is to sell or make drugs secretly. If you're caught, you can be arrested. Call an admin with @ to freeze your stoves. This will make your job much easier. Drug dealers should sell out of a base in dark alleys at the club or something out of discreet locations. You should not be selling in the middle of the street. Gangster, thief, master thief. You're allowed to raid, carjack, and mug, see shooting, raiding, carjacking, and killing for details. You can base with thieves, gangsters, meth manufacturers, drug dealers, and hackers. You can base with thieves, gangsters, meth manufacturers, drug dealers, and hackers. You can raid, but not carjack or mug. You cannot randomly hack players' cars, keypad, or cameras. You must have a raid before hacking keypads. You can hack players to spy inside a base before calling raid. You can hack camera to spy inside a base before calling raid. Careful spying may be dangerous as you can be killed for such actions. Hitman/assassin. You cannot raid. You must lie in wait for your target to exit the building. You may also pursue raiding classes to raid for you and follow them to get hurt. If you choose to do this, you may not take anything. Get your hit and go. You may only base with other hitman assassins. Why would you be able to base? I might ask you. Hitman. Okay. I don't know. Maybe it'll be here in the rules. Hopefully. You may only take a hit, but killing or attacking anyone other than your target, even by mistake, will be considered RDM. So be careful. You take hits from people for money. You can only hit the same target once every 10 minutes. You do not accept hits from people targeting themselves. Do not accept hits from silver protection jobs. You can set your hit price by /hit price. Max price is 10,000. Do not ask for hits on specific people. You can only ask if someone would like to place a hit. You can kill yourself to reset your hit if they're inside a base. Dealer jobs. I want to see how long this one is. I'm seeing. Okay. And then, we ain't really got that much more to go. Okay, that's cool. So, dealer jobs. You are not allowed to raid, mug, or carjack. You must set up a shop before spawning shipments. Shopping shelves placed outside of your shop will be removed without notice. Do not attempt construction of a shop within 10 minutes. If you do not attempt construction of a shop within 10 minutes, you will be demoted. You can and must freeze your shelves. You must sell at least one type of shipments. You are not required to sell everything available. However, you cannot discriminate between players. If you sell miniguns to Garrett, you must also sell them to Limith and everyone else not banned from your shop. Available inventory signs are useful for telling people what you do or do not sell. Okay. Do not sell supply unless you have a shop with weapons being sold. You may supply your security guard with weapons as well. Do not try to be sneaky and give weapons to your friend or hide them around the map and then switch jobs to retrieve them. You may not keep any weapon or commodity acquired during your time as a dealer. You may ban players from your shop for attacking it, raiding it, or being unruly inside it, but you cannot ban jobs. Black market dealers, that's World War. You are allowed to own printers, weed plants, and opium plants. You can only base with other gun dealers, heavy dealers, advanced arm dealers, black market dealers, World War, and security guards. Doctor, you cannot have printers. You can only base with other doctors, security guards. You can legally own weed and opium plants. Gun dealer, heavy arm dealer, and advanced arm dealer. You're allowed to own printers, weed plants, and opium plants. You can only base with other gun dealers, heavy gun dealers, advanced arm dealers, black market dealers, Lord of War, and security guards. Throat's killing me. Like my only bottle of water, so I keep that. Miscellaneous jobs, however you say that. Bank manager / bank security. You're not allowed to own money printers, weed plants, or opium plants. You can only base with bank security. You can only base in the bank. Bartender, DJ, nightclub owner. Set up a bar or base in the nightclub. Whoa. Nightclub owner can only base in the nightclub. Bartenders and DJs may base in the nightclub or any other valid building. You're allowed to own printers, weed plants, and opium plants. You can only base with other bartenders, DJs, security guards, and nightclub owners. Put your boombox down at your own risk. Boomboxes are prized and may be stolen. You're responsible for things played on your boombox and your presents. Do not use the boombox to offend or troll players. Just because a song is accessible does not mean it is acceptable. Playing offensive songs or sounds is not illegal. This means loud, obnoxious sounds such as the Sonic song are not allowed. I'll just see if that is actually after this. I've never even heard of that. If a player asks you to go away with the music, and you may not follow or harass them with the boombox. Bitcoin farmer, you are allowed to own printers. Bitcoin machines are legal. You can only base with other Bitcoin farmers. Citizens, you are allowed to own printers, weed plants, and opiums. You're not allowed to raid, murder, carjack. You are allowed to own a gun, but only for self-defense. You must follow the laws unless you are in danger. You are a law-abiding citizen, not a criminal job. Ooh, okay, here's one I really do need for this. You are not allowed to have printers, weed plants, or opium plants. You are not allowed to raid. You are not allowed to have any weapons. You have fists, that's all. This includes your pockets. Do not randomly punch people. You are allowed to build on sidewalks, alleyways, and other public areas, not on private property. Not in the street. You cannot build on top of buildings or on the property which could be owned by purchasing a building. You must beg for money, sing, or be creative with the hobo games. Warning: attempting to rig a hobo game by inserting invisible props or such nonsense will be counted as scamming. You cannot accept wagers larger than 100K. You can only own wheelchairs and tricycles, no other vehicles. You are a hobo. Mechanic, you are allowed to own printers, weed plants, and opium plants. You're not allowed to raid, mug, or carjack. You can only base with security guards and other mechanics. Repair vehicles to earn money. I'm security guard. My hands are so cold. It's not even funny. Security guard, you are allowed to own printers, weed plants, and opium plants. You must come to a payment arrangement with the owner of the shop. You are protected for merchandise. 8% of profits or a flat rate per time protected. Example, 25% of profits and or 1K for every 10 minutes of protection. This is just an example. You are free to come with any rooms you like before you starting protecting them. You can only protect a shop. You must ask people to leave the place if resistance is met, call the cops, or you can stun stick them out. You can only kill if the cop you're Or if the shop you're protecting is under attack or being raided, you can only base with the owner of the shop that you're protecting. Any merchandise given to you by the shop owner can be kept unless otherwise specified. I do not know how to speak today, I'm being honest. In your arrangement with the shop owner, keeping weapons or merchandise given to you as payment can be kept if you change shop without being considered self-supply. Cinema owner, you are not allowed to own printers, weed plants, or open plants. You can only base with yourself. Copyright of Eclipse, Dark RP, Gmod servers. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.